Hello, beautiful beings. I'm Mama Belle from Mama Belle's Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I'll be doing a birthday reading for Aries. The messages in this reading are meant specifically for the Aries collective. However, you may notice some of the messages resonate if you have Aries placements in your chart. Before we get started, I wanted to say that this is a general reading and not meant as advice of any professional sort, including but not limited to medical or legal advice. Most importantly, I would like to say thank you for clicking here. If any of this reading resonates, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Now on to the reading. Hi, Aries. I'm still sick. Big shock. This time, the little one didn't even, I'm still sick from before, but it started to get better. Like, I've been sick since January, and I was also sick in November before that. But it started to get better. And then in January, it got worse. And then it sort of started to get better. And then I got another one. And I am just exhausted. And they don't know what's wrong. Just a lot of respiratory viruses, I guess, are just kicking people's butts this year. And I am one of those butts being kicked. Or I have one of those butts being kicked. We're going to start with the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. Firstly, I want to say before we get started, happy birthday. I know I haven't been uploading or doing videos lately. I am so exhausted. I don't know if you can hear my voice, but I'm so congested right now. The cough hasn't gone away. So I'm feeling fresh. I'm sharing with you guys because I really love doing these and I want to be authentic for my channel and the subscribers I have. I recognize I have not been doing my monthly readings like I really enjoy doing. I have been saving my energy so that way I can at the very least give you a birthday reading. I'm not sure if this is going to be uploaded in time, but I will do my best. So even if I'm not well enough to do my normal monthly readings for all 12 signs, I will do my very best to make sure I'm well enough to do a birthday reading. Something I haven't yet shared on the channel is that birthdays are incredibly important to me. It's one of those things that is from when I was younger, and birthdays were a really big deal for us. We did not have a lot growing up, and with his faults, my dad did still try to make sure birthdays were really special, and they have always been special to me, and I want to share that with my channel and my lovely subscribers because it's something I feel everybody should get to have as a special birthday. Okay. Got a little bit vulnerable. But I wanted you guys to know I don't forget you guys. I just am so under the weather. It's unreal how sick I've been this year. It's incredible and not in a good way. I'm so ready to feel better. I've literally had a cough since December. How many months is that now? I don't know. Too many. That's the answer. Too many. And then I noticed tonight I'm feeling more achy than I was yesterday, and I think something's going on with my throat. So it's just a lot of fun we're having today / this winter, and I'm ready for it to go. Okay, I'm temporarily done complaining. I will likely complain about this some more later. We're gonna start by getting a card for how you've grown this year. the lessons you've learned this last year, what you're releasing from the previous year, the theme of the next year for you, and a gift a gift message for this next year. So let's get started. Okay. How has Aries grown this last year? I got a new stand from a friend who wasn't using theirs. Mine actually, the light stopped working, which is unfortunate, which I don't use the light, so it was okay. But it feels like this is so much closer than the other one was when I had it set up. So this is the first time I'm using it. If this feels a little close and weird, that might be why. You have the world for how you've grown this year. I love that. The world is one of my favorite cards in this deck because the fox, and I really love foxes. All right, lessons that Aries has learned this last year. You got 2 cards. You have the 6 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. We'll try and maybe do it that way. The 6 of Pentacles is also one of my favorite cards in this deck. I think the depiction just is wonderful, and I'll go into that in a minute. What is Aries releasing from this past year? The 7 of Wands. I like that. I think that's a good thing. Theme of the next year for Aries. Theme of this next year for Aries. What is the theme of the next year for Aries? What is the theme of the next year? Okay. So I'm not going to lie, that can look like it might be a little bit scary, but I find a little bit of hope in this, and I'll also talk about that in a moment too. So what is a gift message for Aries for the next year? 3 of Wands. Okay. So then we also have the bottom of the deck, which is the Fool. Oh, I'm cold. That's not a good sign. I wasn't cold earlier. Okay, I'm sorry I'm whining again. I'm just so tired of being sick. How you've grown this year. We have the world. So one thing I haven't really noticed until this reading is that on this card, there's a little seashell necklace that's like shining basically from the heart space. And to me, that says that not only have you completed major life lessons, because this is the world card, which is in most decks, not this one, the last card in the major arcana, and major arcana are major lessons. But to me, what I'm getting is that you've specifically learned to shine your light through your heart space. Find ways to be balanced and loving in the world through what fills your heart with joy and what lets you show others your heart, what lets you be truly authentic and loving to yourself in ways that lets you spread that love to other people. So that's one of the best ways I think you could have grown. And I did mention that this deck is not like most decks. There are 2 Fools. The one is the original Fool, which you have, but I'll show you the other one. You have the Fool 2.0. So in most decks, this is going to be the end card, the world card. But there's a Fool 2.0, which to me says you're about to do whatever it is all over again, because that's what the Fool 2.0 is. So you could decide to complete your growth here. However, because we're using this deck, I get this feeling, and especially because I just saw 10-10, that you're about to go into another cycle, which 10s typically are the end of cycles. So I would say that you're likely about to do some more growing in a beautiful way. You're ready to do some more major arcana work, but in a leveled up way. The lessons from the past year, you have the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles, which we should note that these are 2 cards that come like 1, 2, basically, like one after the other. With the 5 of Pentacles, what I'm getting, the lesson you learned this year is both about scarcity and knowing that you have yourself and that everything you need really isn't that far. But the reason you have the 6 of Pentacles with it is that the way you've had to learn this lesson is, the way you acknowledge that lesson is by giving reciprocity. The 6 of Pentacles, especially to me with this deck and this depiction, because this is a parent with their chicks, essentially. But to me, this always speaks of inner parent, inner child, and saying, I have committed to taking care of you in the best ways possible, in the ways that nourish you. So you've had to go through the 5 of Pentacles until you could acknowledge that you've got you. You can do this. Whatever it is you're trying to set your mind to, you have to say, I'm committing to you. I'm committing to this journey. I'm committed to taking care of you in whatever ways that you need. And again, beautiful lessons to get. What you're releasing from the previous year is the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands can speak of defensiveness, guarding your position. And what I want to say is that's such a good card to get, because it means that you don't feel the need to be defensive anymore. You recognize that you've earned your spot where you are, that you're going to stand in your power and let that speak for itself. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to. Anyone who doesn't like it, that's a them problem. This card often gives me, I can't remember what reading I said it in, but essentially, I get a sort of loving, kind of, but fierce teacher mode, like a fierce person who cares about somebody kind of mode, where I'm not lecturing. It's like a loving lecture is what it is. I'm not lecturing you, I'm just lecturing. So I love that you're releasing this, because it is a them problem. Anybody who wants to try to say that you haven't earned whatever it is that you've done, whatever it is that you've accomplished, you know better. First of all, you know better than that. You know how hard you worked. Secondly, again, that's a them problem. Sucks to be them. Sucks to suck. That's all I gotta say there. It's a good lesson to release. And I am so grateful that you are, because you've earned it. And being defensive, especially when you do it at a rate that is too frequent, is exhausting. So I'm so glad you're putting that down. The theme of the next year is the 10 of Swords. And a lot of people think that this can be such a terrible card, but it's not. It's the end of a cycle. This is the last sword. It's painful, or at least it can be. But when you take the time to take out the swords, and look at what's left around you, you can realize you're done with this. You're done with these lessons. You're done with holding on to this. And it doesn't have to be painful anymore. So I know that that can still sound scary, especially if it's a theme of the year. But I'm choosing to look at this with hope. And that is what I want you to hear, is the hope, is that this is the end of this pain and you won't have to deal with it anymore. A gift message for the next year is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands speaks of adventures and new horizons. You have the sun coming up in the distance, and he's looking off toward it. He's ready. He's ready to go. These three wands are almost like touching where the sun is coming up. Like you're about to light this to light your path, which is so funny because I've never gotten this sort of message before. But that's what's coming through for me, is that you're about to touch that light from the sun and light up your wands so you can see the path clearly. You're ready to go on whatever adventure is coming. That's beautiful. So, the bottom of the deck, you got the Fool. For me, the bottom of the deck is advice going forward. And the Fool is saying, take a leap of faith, especially if it means to go on an adventure. Oh, sorry, too high. But take a leap of faith. Know that whatever is coming, you can handle it because you've already gone through the lessons of the world. You've technically already gone through the lesson of the Fool. And you're ready to do it again. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Trust that you can handle this because you can. So now we're going to get a card from the Sacred Creators Oracle, which is also by Chris Ann. And I'm going to read directly out of the guidebook for this. And what you'll notice is that there's a self-care message, or an essential meaning, which is as if you get it in the upright, and a self-care message, which is as if you get it in the reverse. I'll read both because I find that both tend to have a whole message for whoever needs to hear it. I also tend to find that these cards, whatever we tend to pick, tends to validate whatever's already on the table for us. Whatever's already come up in the reading is usually validated by what comes out from the Sacred Creators Oracle. And I can't remember if I've already mentioned it, but it's also by Chris Ann. Sorry, I need to take a deep breath. I'm so over being sick. All right. What does Aries need to know from the Sacred Creators Oracle? Okay. Soul on Fire, card number 38. I'll put it up here so you can see that hopefully pretty well. Soul on Fire, 38. Essential meanings: passion, laser-like focus on your goals, infectious enthusiasm, success on the way, finding what lights you up. Self-care message: a loss of faith, needing to find your passion, boredom, settling for loss, feeling unworthy of life's miracles of joy. Fearlessly pursue that which sets your soul ablaze. Soul on Fire is an exhilarating state. It's impulsive, it's catchy. It is the one tunnel vision option that lies ahead of you that you absolutely cannot stop thinking about. It's passionately obsessive and thrilling, and it's always filled with warm spirals of escalating energy. What do you see when you look at your tomorrow? Does it reverberate excitement? Is there fire energy there? I would like to point out you've got 10 wands total here. Those are very fiery energies. And I believe the Fool is also an Aries card, if I'm not mistaken. If there isn't, you may be running after empty substitutes for your dream. And it's time to find your true zest for your journey. When you make the decision to expand your life this way, the shift can happen quickly. Souls ablaze are magnetic and have a way of making huge changes in short spurts. Extraordinary experiences are built from within ordinary, everyday lives. You have everything you need to find this spark of fascination for your journey. How could you expand your current reality so that it would be big enough to house your dream? Cut through the nonsense and the mad babble you've been using to market or describe yourself. Stop trying to dazzle with expert lingo or fancy systems. Drop the facade. Sell them passion, your fire, your dream. If you could bring more infectious enthusiasm to your goal and talk about it from a place of pure passion, what would you say? I love that. Soul Ablaze or Soul on Fire is a card I don't see enough. Respectfully. The universe, respectfully. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's saying people's souls are on fire, which is why we don't see it more. But either way, I feel like this is saying your year needs to be through your heart and soul and whatever it is that lights you up. We talked about lighting you up. We talked about that. And yeah, in a weird way, it was definitely resonating. It wasn't as direct as some of the other ones, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be. As long as it makes sense to you and resonates for you, that's what matters. I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as well as share with those you feel it may also resonate. Happy birthday again, Aries. I hope this year brings you health, wealth, happiness, clarity, passion, and alignment. With so much love, I'm Mama Belle, and I'm looking forward to doing your next reading. Happy birthday.